Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
My name is Nancy McCormick-Kovavich. I was born and grew up in California, Sacramento, and in Coloma, where gold was discovered.
I know that years ago you were sexually abused. I was wondering if you'd be willing to share with us your story.
It started happening when I was about 4 until I was 6 years old during that time. That was over 50 years ago. I believe it began when I went missing for a few hours. It was right around that time anyway. There were 2 other attempts to molest me, but I recognized what was happening and I fought back. I said no. I got in trouble for that too.
How has that experience you've lived through affected your life?
It's affected me in 3 different ways. The first way is traumatization. I have PTSD. Just recently, a drunk man came up behind me. It was a homeless person. He seemed like he was a nice man. He wasn't doing anything serious, but it didn't matter. I froze. Because of the PTSD, I'm very paranoid, very careful about my clothing that I wear. And when that man came up beside me, it scared me. I just froze. I just tried to make sure that I wasn't upset or anything. Even now, when I drive by that place, my heart palpitates, beats 100 miles a minute. I can still smell that alcohol and drunk, and everything from 50 years ago comes flooding back to me. And I relive it again and again and again and again. The second way affected me is my sexuality, how I look at myself as a woman. I know I'm a woman in God's eyes, but I'm a person. I don't hate women. Mary is so pure, but I could never look up at a statue of her and look her in the eyes. I couldn't do that. I feel like Mary Magdalene. She's a prostitute. She was dirty. I feel like I'm just like her. I couldn't look at Mary. I was confused. I'm a virgin, but I feel so dirty. It was so embarrassing. And I asked myself all the time growing up, why, what? I was so confused. And the third way it's influenced me is I have mixed feelings about how I approach people. I tend to be hesitant with men and kind of back away from them still. It doesn't matter that I have a master's degree or the other things that I've done in my life. Intellectually, I know it. Emotionally, I'm torn. I just wanted to take that away from myself and get rid of it. I was frustrated. I asked my therapist, come on, I just want to be clean from this. Why won't it get away? And the therapist said, I have to be introspective, and little by little, I can push it away from myself. Part of it will come back again, but then I just keep working at it little by little. And that's part of who you are. If those things hadn't happened to you, you wouldn't be who you are. Part of me hates that. Makes me who I am? That's disgusting. But God gave me a vision that is my pearl of great price. A pearl is made when something irritates a clam or an oyster shell. And that's how the pearl is made. And that's my pearl of great price. when God gives me the permission to heal and coats me with His grace, then I can give that pearl back to Him. Yes, it shapes me, but really, I realize I get more of God's grace with that. Does that make sense?
How has your faith helped you to get through all of these experiences that you've had?
For one thing, I don't want to go to hell. If I shoot myself, I know I would go to hell. And I realize it may not be true, but I don't want to risk it either. Secondly, I call the problem that I have my thorn in my side. Paul the apostle was very patient, and I need to learn from him to be patient. So to ask God, if you take away this depression from me, I'll be better for you. And God would answer, my grace is enough for you. Thirdly, I see God in so many things every day. I see gentle people sharing going on, people being good to each other, people who are not mentally alert. God is right there in them. It doesn't matter what their faith is. They obviously have a connection, a relationship with God. People get along with animals. I see people playing with children. I see people getting together for different reasons, getting different ideas together, having rallies, having a strike for peace, rallying. Those kind of things send chills up and down my spine. God is everywhere. You see Him in the sunshine. You see Him in the rain. How can people say there's no God? Come on. I wish I could just look into people's minds and say, hello, He's right here, right there, over there. Stop being so blind. And I realize that because I can see those things, I would be wrong to leave right now. As Paul says, to leave and be with God, I can't do that. I have to be here to teach people. How dare I leave when these people are still blind? God wants me to still say to the people, look, He's right here, right in front of you.